Good morning and welcome to another video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter O'Neill and I'm a UK reseller. I buy and sell antiques, collectibles and anything I find interesting to flip for a profit. Yep, today I'm in a dressing gown. I got clothes on underneath, but I am freezing. It is -2 outside. I've been out doing all the rubbish and everything this morning and I'm freezing to the bone and can't warm up. So I'm wearing a dressing gown. And it is my Deadpool one. I absolutely love Deadpool. So, yep. Okay, so I got a real nice haul to share with you again today. As you know, it's obviously from Splott Market. It's the only market open at the moment for myself. But I'm very fortunate because it's one of the very few markets left in South Wales at the moment. Everybody's going there. And I'm managing to find some absolutely amazing pieces. And I think I got a little bit for everybody today. So shall we get started and hopefully you'll enjoy. So I can start off with one of my favorite lots of the day. I just love animals. We have this very large Labrador produced in China. Now this is 18 inches, 20 inches, something like that. This is a large example. And it's in beautiful condition, beautifully cast. Look at that face. A face anybody can love. And I'm not talking about mine. Just absolutely amazing. No chips, no cracks. And this is, let me give you an example if I can. Anything normal around here I can use. Everybody knows what a can of Lynx is like. It gives you an idea, doesn't it? It's huge. Now, I've paid a bit of money for this. This owes me £40 sterling, which is about $60. However, it was produced by Bessrick. There's the back stamp, Bessrick, England. And it is mold number 2314. And as always, I've done a little research and I've got a couple of prices to share with you. Now, £40 or $60 might sound a lot of money to yourselves. However, here we have, let me check I'm screen sharing. Yep. Here we have the Bessrick Large Spaniels 2314. At the top there you have £215, 129, 120, 110, 98, and then 75. I don't know if any is sold. I didn't check the sold prices. There's one there sold for 150 on best offer. 15 inches high. I think this is larger than 15 inches. So they might come in a variety of sizes. Yeah, this is much bigger than 15 inches. We'll find out anyway when I measure it and list it up on the website. It isn't up for sale yet. But either way, you can see the type of money they're pulling. £40 was not a lot of money for that. And off the same stall, I purchased this. Now, the lady in question actually thought originally it was Whitefriars. Why? Because it has a large ground and polished pontal. You see that hole there? That's where they've ground it out and then polished it smooth and clear. Telling you it's been blown on a rod. And to be honest with you, a lot of the time, it would have been Whitefriars. However, this one is Dartington by Frank Thrower. It's the Greek key pattern vase, and this is the large example at about 12 inches, something like that. Maybe a fraction more. Now, most of these that you see will be little 4, 5, 6 inch vases. There'll be very few of this size on the market. If anybody's interested, if you come across to here, the Classic Cyclopedia, I'm always telling you about this one, 20thcenturyglass.com. Come down to British, Italian, Scandinavian, British glass. Now, we could have checked Whitefriars, but there it is at the front with on Dartington. Here's the vase, smaller version, and there's bound to be a larger version here somewhere, is it? No. They're showing you the smaller version there. No, that's the wrong one. Bear with me, sorry. There. They're showing you the small version, the Greek key pattern Dartington vase in red, but the one I have obviously is much larger. Now, if I come across to eBay, there's a few examples on eBay. The top one there sold at 65 or best offer. We don't know what the best offer was. It was probably 60, 50, 55, something like that. And they sold it. Frank Thrower 60s, Dartington glass, Greek key vase. Underneath that is a red one sold for £30, but that's only 14 centimeters high. 6 centimeters wide, 14 centimeters high. Yeah, 14 centimeters high is about 6 inches. So it's a third of the size or half the size of what I've got. So you could see £20 was not a lot of money for the Dartington vase. Anything sort of 60s, 70s at the moment, whether it's pottery, glass, metalware, it doesn't matter, that retro patterns and shapes and sizes and everything, it really is quite hot at the moment. And if I stick with sort of 70s design, I purchased 2 cat teapots. Unmarked. This is the first. They have a little mouse or something riding on the top of the lid. And then the cat with his mouth as the pourer. So the black one was the first. And then I had the white one. Hopefully you're going to see this one. There you go. It's a bit better. Now I can tell you now, I knew who these were because I've actually got one already up for sale on my website. So I already knew who they were at a glance. They've cost me £2 each, so £4 a pair, about $6 for the 2. And they buy Carltonware. Now they're probably seconds, and I'll tell you why they're seconds. Because 1, they're not marked, and 2, the eyes haven't been painted, and that's probably why they're seconds, because the eyes haven't been painted. They should have green eyes, and I'll show you in just a second. Some of these cats and what they sell for. And there we have a selection of them. Carltonware Cat and Mouse Novelty Teapot. These are sold prices. You've got a plain black one there, £25, and a plain white one there, £22. So they come in a variety of decoration, as you can see, but they are Carltonware and they are sort of 70s. Very kitsch, and they do sell. So they're okay. Next lot I'm going to share with you. Actually, I'm going to go for something else in there. This piece, I absolutely adore. Move back. Now, at a distance like this, you would think 1810, 1820, porcelain, hand-painted, possibly Swansea or along them lines. However, this is made to look like porcelain. It is actually earthenware. Very, very heavy. This is probably 4 or 5 kilos. That's how big this plate is. It's wider than me, and I'm a big man. So it's wider than me. You're talking well over 2 foot wide. It is hand-painted. All these flowers in the center here and around the sides are hand-painted. Now, I've purchased this off a subscriber that I've had quite a few things off. He stalls out in Splott Market. This was there, believe it or not, in his junk stall on the floor. And he charged me a whole £5 for this. Now, I've got a couple of thoughts. My first is, it is very much trying to be Swansea porcelain. So, is it possibly produced by Swansea pottery later on, but recreating the image of the Swansea porcelain from 40 years earlier? So if it was porcelain, you'd say 1810, 1820. Derby or Swansea or any of those. Coalport. I'm thinking it could be Swansea pottery that's been hand-painted and made to look like the porcelain. So lots of research is needed. It's unmarked. There's no maker's mark or nothing on there at all, which isn't uncommon. But for a piece of this size, you would have expected them to put a mark on there. But it is all hand-painted It is absolutely beautiful. It's got some surface scratching to the flowers and things like that because it has been used as a meat plate. But this is absolutely massive. Massive, weighs a ton, absolutely beautiful. And I'm not kidding you, right? If you saw it at 20 yards, you would swear it was porcelain. I've actually never seen an earthenware platter done in this white finish and then painted in roses. Normally, these are all blue and white. Because by the time they started doing these 1840, 1860s, you know, they were well copying the Chinese designs and the willow patterns and things like that. So I think it could be a Swansea one, copying an earlier Swansea design. Then again, research needed, could be wrong. But it was £5, $7.50 for a 19th century hand-painted meat plate or platter, and you're talking over 2 foot wide. To ship this, you're talking 8 kilos to ship it. By the time you get a box big enough, make sure it's packed sufficient on the weight of the plate. But I'm not kidding you. Have a look at this now. You see how warped the plate is. Look at that. It's not even done straight. It's warped in the firing. But I absolutely adore it. I love Swansea porcelain. I actually collect Swansea and Nangaroo porcelain anyway. That was very much in line with the look you get from those. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. I need to do more research. I haven't done no research on it yet, but that was what I was thinking. And I saw it at the car boot sale. I thought, you know what? At 20 yards, I thought it was Swansea porcelain. I really did. And I thought, a piece that size, you know, you're talking a couple of £1,000. And then it turned out to be earthenware. But I still get that feeling that it's trying to copy Swansea. So therefore, could be later Swansea pottery. Let's move on to something cute. And I've had a little purse or bag. And you're probably asking yourself, why have I bought a little teddy bear bag? And the simple answer is, if you take a look in the ear of the teddy bear there, it is a stife. Purchased from the same dealer as the meat plate, different days, but the same dealer. I'm so far behind in my backlog of filming some things and mixing in from other days. But this owes me a whole £5 sterling, $7.50 for a stife, German stife bag. Probably would have come originally with a teddy bear inside it. But if you collect stife, it's a nice bag, cost me a £5. It's in mint condition for stife. So over the moon with that. I'm trying to mix it up a bit, I am. Let's show you this one. This is a vintage grill, front grill off a Mini. You have the enamel on the front here, obviously Mini across there. And I would say this is sort of 60s, 70s. It is from a Clubman. And I've actually got a picture of it sitting on a car, albeit a GT model, but I've got a picture of this sitting on a car. I have actually done the research there. And there we go. There is the front grille sitting on the Clubman. Albeit that's the GT version, but that is the same front grille as I've got. There you go. You can see the blue enamel in the center there. I don't know if that GT badge is stuck on there permanent or whether that's something they've stuck onto the grille. But that's the grille I got. And you can see the age there of that car. So absolutely love the grille. It owes me a whole £5 sterling, $7.50. And it's perfect if somebody's restoring a car, or if somebody wants it for a man cave and they love minis to go up on the wall, it would look amazing. Framing up, put a little soft glow light behind it, look £1 million. Now, since I've shown you the car piece, I'm going to stick with the car pieces just for a moment. I bought a selection of car badges. Now, these are vintage badges, but look at the condition. Still sealed in the packet. And I didn't just buy one. These are Lotus badges in enamel. So that's two. That is 3. There's the picture of the backs. I'm not opening them. They've been sold as they came. And then I had this, which is the twin cam badge as well. Now, these are in mint condition. They've never been on a car. They owe me £3 with another badge that I'll show you in a minute, but they owe me £3, which is about $5, $5.50. However, let me show you some prices. These are sold prices. I've managed to get sold prices. Here, if I open this one up, we have 2 twin cam badges. The one of them is totally shot, and these are used. You can see the condition of them. And 2 Lotus badges. There's the Lotus badges I have, and the twin cam badges. Now, I've only got 1 twin cam. They've got 2, but I've got 3 Lotus. They've got 2. All right. They sold at 21 bids for £196. Now, I've looked online, and you can buy these twin cams on their own for about £15, £20. And you can buy these separate on their own for, 30s and 40s. But I'll put it on as a job lot. Again, on the website. This is mint. This is new old stock. So I got those 3 there, and I got that one there, and they'll go on the website. I won't ask them at 96. I'll probably go in at 100 or something like that and keep it fair and get them sold. So that's where I'm at with those. But with those comes this one. Commercial Motor Show, Overseas Visitors, Motor Show London, 1950, Enamel badge. Now, I can't find this particular year. However, if you look across here, there are quite a lot of these badges out there. There's one here, Overseas, £25. Very similar. It's got the overseas, and that's 1952. You got another one by year, 1955 London overseas visitor again, 64. That's this 1955 here overseas, £64. I think that's the one I just showed you. And if you come across to eBay, it was a 1954 round one there, or oval one there, 41. Triangular one there, $29.99. So they are asking some really good money. There was none sold on the sold list for me to show you the sold. It's not I don't want to show you them. There was none on the sold list. But that come in with those for £3. And let's be frank, I can probably ask as much as 150 if I wanted for those, and another 50 for that for £3. So that's absolutely fine. I'm not sure if I've made a mistake. You'll probably know more about it than me. I tend to go with my gut. I don't always know what I'm buying. I go with my gut. And this time, I may have made a mistake. I've done a little bit of looking, and prices sort of range from what I've paid and up. Now, I've bought a banjo, and I know nothing at all about banjos. I have never bought one in the past. I fell in love with it. The dealer had it. He was showing me his research, and he actually had one on his phone, the identical model, sold at $275. However, from the research I've been doing, the lowest I could find sold was about £88, and people asking as much as $350, $400. So I have no idea where I am at the moment. And we've got Aria, Remo, Weather King, Banjo. And as you can see, I can't play things. I've never been one for musical instruments. It's missing a string. I paid £100 for it. So maybe one of you experts out there in banjos and things can tell me if I've done well or not, because I haven't got the foggiest idea. I have been looking, but I tell you what, it's hard work. There's so many different models and things to take into consideration. I'm almost very sorry that I purchased this one. No, I don't get that. It must just be a 4-string with a 5-string bar. Up here, it fits 4 strings and it's got 4 turny points. But down here, it would hold 5 strings. So I don't know whether or not... I actually thought he was missing a string, 5. But that bay only takes 4. So, again, you know, I have no idea. I paid £100 for it because I liked it. And he was showing me research that he had. But if I take a small loss on it, I take a small loss on it. Or if I get my money back, I get my money back. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. It is a beautiful instrument, either way. I took a gamble. £100 not really the end of the world. I'm not going to lose a lot if I lose anything. And I'll certainly make it back on other things. But I don't always know what I'm buying. And I'll give you another example of that. I've purchased this. Now, I can't tell you what it is yet. This will be coming in another video at a later stage. Now, it's sort of Majolica pottery or earthenware, but you've got a frog. And the frog or toad is sitting at the base, and he's got his arms stretched out, holding the spill vase. See his arms there? And again there. It's got this sort of tulip here. It's almost Art Nouveau in style, arts and crafts. Now, it's got an under the glaze chip. So there is a chip on it there, but it's also been glazed over. So this was done in the manufacturing, in the making of it. There's the base. Now, I have actually put up on Facebook for some help. Well, somebody's actually got back to me and said it looks to be Chinese turquoise glazed from possibly the 30s. So possibly Chinese. I'll have to look into that, but I don't know is the answer. It owes me £3, which is $5. And I can tell you now, this will not leave my side until I know exactly what it is. Now, my thinking when I saw it, now bear in mind, I bought this in the dark, indoors in Splott. It had a bit of light dim, but it's pretty dark either way. And I bought it at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, something silly like that. But my thinking was, along the lines of Alt or Linthorpe, but like with Christopher Dresser and things, he uses all the animals. And I thought it was that era if it wasn't him. So that's the way I was thinking, but absolutely stunning quality. And that'll be in another film when I know what it was, or is rather. Just move on. Whilst I was at the stall buying that, another dealer was at the stall buying this. And we have a pierced repoussé work sterling silver dish. Beautiful quality thing. Now it weighs just under 40 grams. It's fully hallmarked for Chester 1904, and the maker is, hang on, bear with me, I just want to share the screen with you. As you know, I have a site I use, which is silvermakersmarks.co.uk, and there's the maker, George, Nathan and Ridley Hayes, and they worked from 1895 to 1915. And if I go back to the home, you can see then, you can click on Maker's Marks, Hallmark Identification, etc. And it's very simple. If you click on the Hallmark Identification, you just match up your assay office and go from there. I've already done it, and it is Chester 1904. I do have a photograph of the hallmark for you. Albeit I haven't transferred it to the phone, but just there you go. It is that simple. You just match it all up, and that's in the corner of the dish. Now I paid him. He paid £2. I paid £3 for the vase, and I absolutely think the vase could be worth far more than this, a lot more. He paid £2 for this, which is about $3. And I turned around to him. I said, "You selling? Are you a collector or are you a seller?" And he said, "I'm trade. I'll happily sell." He said, "Make me offer." I said, "I'll give you 10 to 1. I'll give you 20 quid there and then." And that's what we done at the stall. I handed out, peeled off a fresh £20 note, give it to him, and he gave me this, which works out around 50 pence a gram for antique silver of that quality. I don't mind that. So I'm happy enough. That'll be cleaned up tidy. and then it shall be up on the website for about 45, 50 pounds, something like that. For £20 outlay, $30, it's nearly another. If I stick with a bit of silver while I'm doing silver, then the same gentleman then come back and saw me at my stall, and he picked this up, which is a sterling silver chain and pendant. Now, the chain itself isn't a bad chain. It's got a fair bit of weight to it. Probably a half-ounce chain, something like that. And then attached to it is this. A real nice quality deep-sea diver. Now, he paid £16 for it, wanted a profit. I give him £20 again, so another $30. But that was for the chain and for the deep-sea diver. Again, I see it about £45 as a setup. Now, I have looked online. You can buy these divers for around £20, £25, £30, something like that. No problem at all. However, I did get a chain with it as well. So it'll be £45 on the website. And I just thought it was an interesting piece of silver. Now, I'd never actually seen one before until I researched them. And I still think it's a good buy, even though some people selling the divers cheaper. Off the same stall, I purchased an unmarked white metal, it's going to be silver, white metal propelling pencil. So you just turn that, and out comes your nib, which I don't think it's got any lead. Yeah, it isn't. Oh, it has. Here it comes. So you just turn that, and out comes your lead. So your little white metal propelling pencil that would go on the end of a chatelaine or maybe a fob. Chatelaine would be what the equivalent was of a purse years ago. They'd have like a necklace or something coming around the waist, and it'd have loads of different chains coming off it, and on each chain would be a little instrument, a pair of scissors, pencil, and so forth all the way around. I believe that's what a chatelaine was. Let's have a look. I'm sure that's what it was. Silver chatelaine. There we go. Perfect. Let's have a look. Zoom in. That gives you an idea of what they are. So, little chatelaine. They can be attached to numerous things: a belt, a necklace, a brooch, and they would hang off all different little instruments. A whistle there, the pencil and so forth. Pair of scissors over there. So you get the idea. That cost me a whole £1. So it's a Victorian white metal pencil. It's not worth fortunes, £10, £15, something like that. But it cost me £1. So I'm happy enough with that. Last piece of silver. No, it's not. I got two more. Same stall, sorry. Was this. I haven't done no work on it. It is hallmarked on the top, just there. You can see the hallmarks. Hallmark's a bit worn. It's got a couple of little splits down the side, really at the bottom, but you can see there a couple of splits. So I'm not doing no work on this one. It is a cut glass silver topped bottle, but because of the condition, it's going to go out for about £8, something like that, back at the car boot sale. It's not good enough to go online for me. Unless one of the dealers turns around and says, I'll do a £5 for it, and then it's gone. It was £1. $2. If I get a £5 for it, I'm over the moon. It's a profit, and I'll move it on to someone else. There's nothing wrong with it. The bottle is absolutely stunning quality. Look at that bottle. And the silver's nice. It's just worn hallmark and got a couple of small splits. So for me, that ruins it. But I'm not going to leave it there at the stall when it's £1. These I may have made a bit of a mistake on. We have a weighted pair of candlesticks. Now, I believe they're silver. They have a really strange hallmark down there, which I believe is Malaysia. Now, the sconces come off. And you throw them away. They got petals all the way around. Now, the reason I think they're a mistake is this one here is missing some petals. Now, got one petal inside. I actually thought it was two. Got one petal inside. which could be reattached by missing 2. So the other alternative is take the petals off altogether, polish them, and have, oh, there's another petal gone off that one now. So I'm thinking if I take the petals off altogether and then just have them polished, and they will just be a beautiful pair of candlesticks without the petals. I'll give them to my jeweler. I'll take all the petals off. They'll go straight in my scrap now because I'm missing one there and I can't make a setup. So I'll take all the petals off. She can file it down, finish it off smooth, nicely. It won't charge me a lot. And I'll have a pair of candlesticks. Weighted at the base, granted. They are weighted. If I take the petals off, they'll just be a beautiful pair of candlesticks. Nobody would know any different than about the petals. And I think that's what I'll do, to be honest with you. I just had that idea. And, you know, what's the alternative? I take the weighting out and I scrap them. And I don't want to scrap anything. If I can salvage something, I will. Now, I paid £15 for these pay. I'm taking them all off now because I wanted to have a look of how it'll look without petals on there. And I want to see it myself as well, because I don't know. So that is what it will look. Once it's obviously polished smooth around there, you'll have a beautiful, elegant candlestick, really. With removable sconce. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind that at all, to be honest with you. So I'll take them, leave them here for now, send that to the jewelers, and have her polish this off and finish it off nicely. And same there, and I will have a nice pair of candlesticks. And then I'm going to take them to the market and show Andrew who I bought them off and say, that's what I decided to do with them. Since I couldn't replace the petal, the cost of having a petal made is going to be astronomical. But a pair of silver candlesticks now, and they owe me £15. And to be honest with you, I've got a few pound in scrap silver there. That's probably, you know, I'll tell you exactly how much that is now. But bear in mind, you get something like 50p a gram on scrap silver, give or take. So ripping the petals off, how much have I got back? Hang on. Okay, so there's 8 grams. So it's about £4 back on the petals. So these now owe me £11 to pay for silver candlesticks. And they'll probably owe me another £5 or £10 to have them polished smooth, no problem at all. And then they'll be up for sale on the website. Reuse and recycle, as they say. Okay, what's next? These are a nice cheeky little find. A pair of postal scales from around 1910, 1920, give or take somewhere around there, made in brass. Now, I've seen these with all the postal rates on the top here. These don't have that. It's nice to have the little plaque along the base. Inland letter rates not exceeding 2 ounces, 1 penny, 1.5 pennies. And for every additional 2 ounces is another half a pennies. So it's nice to have the plaque. Now, it's missing 3 little weights. It would be a ½ ounce, a 1 ounce, and a 2 ounce weight. I can buy them if I want to. They cost me £2. Now, I'm not kidding you. There was a time I used to get like £40, £50 for a set of scales like this. I really did. That day is long gone. However, for £2, in that condition, they're still going to be £20, 10 to 1. No problem at all. I'll show you, actually, these old postal scales, because some of them, if they're more elaborate than that, can pull good money. Okay, so there you have a Samson and Morden set at the very top here, sold for £450. And it's a very similar set to what I've got. Beautifully finished, though. Look at that. Beautiful set of weights, beautiful condition. Samson and Morden of London, and they had £450 for those. Right, if I move down, there's another set there. Samson and Morden, 175. Looking for the same set. There's a set there. Postal scales, 1900s, 95. with the weights. Another set there, 75. Maybe I'll up my price a bit. I know I haven't got the weights, but £70 there. Again, there's two there for 62. Is another what set? No, they're different base. That's the same set, 55. So I'll probably up my price now, actually. I may look for a set of weights and then ask £50 from because they're comfortably selling for that. 47, 49, 42. They've actually gone up. One of the things that have actually gone up over the years, not down. So a nice set of postal scales. They were £2. I'm now going to ask £30. I won't bother with the weights. I'll just sell them as they are for £30. They start made in England, so they're 20th century. 19. I still say 1910, 1920, but could be a bit earlier maybe. But either way, for £2 they were a gift. I know I'm supposed to be dealing in antiques, collectibles, and vintage. However, I sold at the car boot sale yesterday, and the lady at the side of me had a pair of bikes. Now, she said, plain and simple, these are not coming back in my house. My other half bought them, and she hates them. He paid £45 a bike. These are made of tin. Look how detailed they are. Really nicely detailed. It's a nice tin bike. There's no age to them. However, really, really attractive. I haven't decided yet whether to put them up for sale on the website and just chuck £25, £30 on the pair, or put them back out at the boot sale at £15 each sort of thing, which they should fly out at that. And she charged me a tenner for the pair. She was asking a tenner each all day, and nobody would pay her down there. Now, I know Christmas is coming, but these would have made a lovely Christmas present for somebody for a man cave. They really would. Nobody would give her the £20. I turned around to her, I said, look, at the end of the day, because she said everything's going to charity shop at the end, afterwards, whatever's left, and she said, these are not going back in the house. I said, well, if you haven't sold them, I said, you've got another 2 hours left. She said, if you haven't sold them, I said, I'll give you a tenner from Ron, we'll charity shop them. And she said, take them now. She had 2 hours where she could have carried on trying to sell them and then come to me. But she said, no, just take them. Give me a tenner and take them. So I paid a £5 a bike, which is about $7.50 a bike, $15 a pair. And absolutely love them. As I said, there's no age from them. They're probably brand new. You could probably still buy them in the shop now, but they're £45 each. So there's £90 worth per there for a tenner. So if I said £30, £40 for the pair, they're still having them half price and they're in mint condition. We're coming towards the end now. This next piece, it's just a bit of fun. It's a really sweet, I love the subject matter of what the ducks playing at the farm. Is it ducks? Yeah, it's a ducks. The ducks out at the farm. And it is really just a sweet little image. It's a watercolour. It is an original watercolour. It is a signed watercolour. However, I haven't been able to, I haven't been able to, I haven't done any research yet. That's the truth, honest, behind it. Now, this doesn't owe me anything. The gentleman threw this in with the banjo. So whatever I get for this comes off the price of the banjo. And I think the image is actually quite beautiful. I just love this sort of farm surrounding, scenery here, the ducks and birds coming up here, the cottage. It's just a nice image, pleasant image. And it has got some good age. Look at that backing. It's never been off. I'd say it's probably 1920s, 30s looking at that backing. And it is a signed piece. It is signed down by there. So I'm hoping I can get that later. I can't do it. But I'll do some research on it. But it came in with the banjo, so it doesn't owe me a penny. And even if I got sort of £20, £30 back for that, it brings off the risk on the banjo, because I genuinely have no idea with the banjo. I've been having a look, and honestly, it's like stamps. I think I'm going to stay away from musical instruments because they're like stamps. There's so many different things to look at. It's just a nightmare. This is going to be my last lot, I think. Last lot for today's haul. They've pulled out ready. No, it's not. I got two. I pulled out a little job lot of items from the same stall as the toad or frog vase, and I had this. First of all, this fossil. This is an ammonite, and it is a proper fossil. So this is millions of years old. That's some sort of sea creature that got buried in sludge millions of years ago and then turned into a fossil. And it's been dug up and polished. So it's a nice little ammonite. And what I intend to do with that, my daughter is mad on Bing. And there's an episode of Bing where they find ammonites in the ground and they take them home. So I'm going to wrap that up, and that's going to be one of her Christmas presents. We're going to do a Bing ammonite hunt. I had two pieces of cloisonne, Chinese pieces. You got a little butterfly napkin ring here, and flowers and birds. Is it birds? No, butterflies and flowers rather. And then we have this little owl thimble. And then I had this little keychain. Is that a Pope? I don't know. I haven't done no research on it yet. I bought it because I thought it may be a silver coin or silver medal, so I'm going to have to do some research on that, Roma. So that's probably the Pope from Rome. Paul the Sixth, so St. Paul the Sixth, I would assume. So that may be silver. Now, I only paid £1 for the group. The fossil is quite nice. These owls, believe it or not, have a look at this. Shock. You'll get shocked. Okay, so if I come over here, so there's 4 little thimbles at the top there, Chinese owls, sold for $29. There's an almost identical owl here, sold for £25. Got the same yellow coming around the eyes as mine, the same flower at the bottom. This bit here is the same, just a slight different color. And they've sold that for £25. It's almost identical to the one I have. There's very little difference between them. And they sold these for £25. And then you come down here and people are selling, one there for £5, another one for £5, 3 for £5. But I don't understand why that one sold for £25 unless it's an older version, because this one looks as if it got good age too. But I had no intention of trying to sell an owl on his own. What I intend to do, I'm going to start saving up. When I see little cheap cloisonne pieces like this, I'm going to save them up all year, and then maybe next year I might have 10 or 20 pieces of cloisonne, good pieces, and I'll put it as a job lot of cloisonne on the website. So these won't go nowhere for now. I'll just chuck them aside, and they'll go out on the website as a group when I make a group up. But I see cloisonne stuff all the time. It's good quality. I'm looking at this napkin ring. I don't think the napkin ring is cloisonne. I think the napkin ring is just enamel. The difference being with cloisonne, they have the wire around the edge and then fill it in to form the pattern. This just looks enameled. But the owl is definitely cloisonne. But I'm going to make a group up, and then they'll be sold on as a group later on, maybe next year. Final piece is a little bit of English bone china by Royal Albert, and it is Winsome Royal Albert bone china. There you go. You have a nice little dish, off-center handle here, a little bit of gilt wear on the handle, nothing much, no chips or cracks that I can see. It owed me £1, and again, this is going to get put away, and I'm going to build up a job lot of Royal Albert, and I'll offer it out to Richie, and if he's not interested, I will bang it out as a job lot. There's a lot of people after Royal Albert at the moment. So I think that is it. Just having a quick look around. I can't see anything I've missed out. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. There's a few real nice pieces, a couple of interesting pieces today. I would appreciate your views on the Banjo. Have I overpaid? Possibly. I'm not going to run and hide. I'm not ashamed to make mistakes. In this game, I take so many chances, you know, where I buy with my gut rather than sitting down Googling everything on the phone before I buy it. I'm round the car boot sale fast, furious. So sometimes I make a mistake. I don't know if I think I may have made a mistake on that one, to be honest with you, at 100, but we'll see what people think. I've got a couple of Banjo collectors. I could always give them a shout and see what they'll give me and give me a quick turnaround on there. But we'll see. I may chuck it back down the market because I'm not confident with it. And if I haven't got confidence with it, I don't want to list it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. At the moment, the snow's holding off, so I'll be back down the market Thursday, fingers crossed, and we'll see what else I can find. Thanks for watching. I would appreciate any shares, any likes and comments that you can do. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.